Okay, welcome to another episode of Soundtracks and Stuff. I don't know which. I'll put it up here, above the on the screen here somewhere, saying which episode it is. But I'll say a couple things about soundtracks to start out with, and other stuff. They it's not necessarily my favorite section. I'm discovering that there's a lot of things in soundtracks, and I think a lot of people may look at soundtracks and go, oh, yeah, okay. Uh, and even myself, I think I'd look at soundtracks. When I'm in a record store, I look at other things first. I'll look at the blues section. I might look at what they got that's funky in here. But soundtracks, there's some gems, and I'm rediscovering it by looking through it, myself, and going, oh yeah, that's a cool record. There's a cool song that's only released on that soundtrack, and that's the only way to get it, right? So soundtracks, TV top 10 themes, a lot of themes, that we know and love. Um, the DA Man, Perry Mason, 77 Sunset Street, Pete Kelly's Blues, Mickey Mouse Club, Maverick, Peter Gunn. Peter Gunn is, bum, 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 always comes up. Have Gun Will Travel, Richard Diamond, Playhouse 90, The Real McCoys, M Squad. Is M Squad different from Mod Squad? I wonder. M Squad. I don't remember that show, so maybe someone in the comments can tell me and clue me in.
I'll edit that.
So, um, so here's one: Blind Date. Kim Basinger, Bruce Willis. Simply Meant to Be, performed by Gary Morrison, Jennifer Warnes. Let You Get Away, Oh What a Night, performed by Billy Vera and the Beaters. Trying to think what might have made me want to grab this one. I don't remember. But a variety of musicians. Usually it's a variety of musicians, but songs that were made for this movie, which is not always the case, right? That's a lot of times you get songs that are all over the, is things that are in their catalog. It's already been released. So sometimes this is a way to get some of those unique tunes, like I was saying. Here we got Easy Rider, a great movie. The Pusher, Steppenwolf. Although this is like I was saying, right here, these are ones that were released on records. But you get the soundtrack, you're going to get The Pusher, Born to Be Wild, The Wait by the Smith. I don't know that one. I know The Wait by the band. I don't know if it's the same tune or not. Wasn't Born to Follow, The Byrds, If You Want to Be a Bird, The Holy Modal Rounders. I don't think I have that anywhere else. Don't Bogart Me, Fraternity of Man. If Six Was Nine, Jimi Hendrix Experience. It's All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding, Roger McGuinn, and Ballad of Easy Rider, Roger McGuinn. So, you get, like I say, a variety of things. And, that's kind of fun. So here's a favorite of mine. Secret Policeman's Ball. I don't think this was released necessarily as a movie. I'm sure it's out there where you can watch it, but don't I don't remember it being released quite as a movie. But it was a concert for the Prince, I believe, and a fundraiser, right? But you got these variety of musicians, right? You got Sting doing Roxanne, a kind of acoustic version, and I just love that one right there. Then you also have Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton together, Father and Up the Road, Crossroads, because we've ended up as lovers. I'm trying to think who that. Oh, that's Bob Geldof. I don't like Mondays. Here, I might as well show you what I'm looking at. So I don't like Mondays on the very end there. Phil Collins, again, a kind of an acoustic version of In the Air Tonight and The Roof is Leaking. Donovan, kind of from a time where you didn't really see him out much, doing a couple classics. And I Shall Be Released, which I think is a group version, doing that tune. But I just remember really enjoying this record at the time when it came out. And they did a second one, and I think, yep, there's a second one. I don't remember it being quite as great or catchy as the first one. Of course, it's like any sequel. Doesn't quite, maybe, it's not necessarily the case with the concerts, right? There might be something more interesting the second time around. But, it was, another way to hear. I like hearing different versions of songs. I mean, a lot of people want to go to concerts and hear it just the way they heard it on the record, right? But musicians might want to change it up a little bit. They might want to see, well, what would this sound like acoustically? And it's like, what was it, VH1 Storytellers, or the sitting down and seated, Unplugged, right? The Unplugged stuff. That all was a new way to hear, like Led Zeppelin Unplugged, or any of the other great artists. In an unplugged version is, you see something new, you hear something a little different, and I'm for all that. So this one has Pete Townsend on it, with John Williams, with Won't Get Fooled Again. Neil Innes is doing Spontaneous, Tom Robinson, and a couple more, Pete Townsend. So Pete Townsend, I'm sure, is strong in that, but I don't think some of the others are that interesting. And here's the third one of it, with The Secret Policeman's Ball. This one's got Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill, with David Gilmour, Duran Duran, Save a Prayer, Lou Reed, Voices of Freedom, Bob Geldof. This is The World Calling, Jackson Browne, For Every Man, Erasure, Victim of Love, Nick Kershaw, Wouldn't It Be Good, Joan Armatrading, I Love It When You Call Me Names, Mark Knopfler and Chet Atkins. That's a little different right there. I do remember they did an album together, if not two. And Peter Gabriel doing Biko, which, another civil rights for South Africa icon. So you get something new and different, and that's the whole idea. Into the Night. This was a movie I remember going to the theater and seeing, and when I heard that tune, Into the Night, by B.B. King, I was like, yeah, this is great. Now, it was a John Landis film. The movie was okay. Jeff Goldblum was in it. Pfeiffer, right? Michelle Pfeiffer, yeah. But the main reason I picked this one was Into the Night. I liked the blues tune. It was great, and that's what grabbed me. There's other tunes on here, but that's the one that was the reason to buy it. Stormy Monday. No, Stormy Monday. I'm really into blues now, aren't I? Stormy Weather. This is I think some kind of a reissue of it, but music from the soundtrack of Stormy Weather. So it's got Stormy Weather, Lena Horne in chorus. I can't give you anything but love, Lena Horne, and Cab Calloway. Ain't That Something, Bill Bojangles Robinson. So a Jump and Jive, Cab Calloway, Sunday in Savannah, Lonesome Blues, Good for Nothing, Zutty Singleton and Orchestra with Lena Horne's vocals. Fats Waller, Ain't Misbehavin'. So, these might not be the most excellent recordings as far as, stereo and all that kind of stuff, but, classic stuff, right? Jump and Jive by Cab Calloway. That is, right there. Joe Jackson did a whole album of covering those kinds of tunes that, my generation hadn't heard it. So when I got to hear it, I was like, oh, hey, yeah. And I might have known some of those early tunes just because I always been a fan of Cab Calloway. But it was something that lit a spark, and I was like, oh, and wanted to find more of it. And might have turned me on more on Louis Jordan and others. So, like I say, soundtracks can start you in a direction and give you a variety. Here's the Sting. This would be Marvin Hamlish, music adapted by Marvin Hamlish. As I remember, what was the classic, Joplin? I think I have that right. So The Entertainer, but Rags, those kinds of tunes being reintroduced, and fun stuff. The Third Man theme. I can't sing it. Zither solo. I like that. Anton Karas doing the zither solo. Third Man theme. Visions of Vienna. Dan You Dream. Fritz and Jackie doing zither duet. This was another great film with I see an O. I'm trying to get it out of my brain here. Orson Welles. There we go. It was a dig, folks. I had to dig deep there. Orson Welles, another great flick. So check out the flick, check out the music. Lawrence of Arabia soundtrack. This was an awesome movie. 5-star movie, and music's part of it. So enjoyable to listen to without even the movie. Just listen to the soundtrack. Victory at Sea, another classic one. I remember watching this in junior high. I mean, watching the black and white footage with the music behind it, and it really does help. Seeing all this old war film, with ships blowing up and stuff, but having this music behind it adds a new dimension and plenty to listen to without watching all the images. Trail of the Pink Panther, Henry Mancini. Henry Mancini keeps coming up because he did a lot of it and a lot of soundtracks, and all fun stuff. So Stanley Kramer, Cinerama. It's a Cinerama. In Cinerama. If you can see it in Cinerama. We did have a theater downtown here in Seattle. I think maybe it can still do Cinerama. And they changed names now. It's run by SIF. But hopefully it can still do it. But there's not that many movies that were filmed in Cinerama. So usually they show how the West was won. But this was also, it's a mad world, right? A lot of all the comedians pretty much of the 60s were in this movie. Milton Berle, Sid Caesar, Buddy Hackett, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney, Dick Shawn, Phil Silvers, Terry Thomas, Jonathan Winters, Jimmy Durante. I mean, it just went on and on and on and on. Great comedy, and just lots of comedians. And then there's the music. Overture, main title, Follow the Leader, Away We Go, Gullible Ottermeyer, The Living End, Act 1, You Satisfy My Soul. It's a mad world. So I don't remember particularly if that's great music, though. I would have to go back and check it out. I'm not sure. I just was more interested in the fact that it was such a great comic movie, or just such a great movie. Kent State. Oh, I'm kind of going blank on this. Let's see. Ken Lauber and orchestra. So it sounds like it's all orchestrated. And I don't remember it, so let's move on. I'll look at the musicians real quick here. Richard Manuel. No, nothing that's jumping out at me saying, "Oh yeah, this is a certain musician that's just awesome." John Sebastian on harmonicas, so that's kind of interesting. Um, but I'd have to go back and listen to it to really give you a real perspective on it. And I think instead of lying, it's best to just move on. So Ryan O'Neal, Paper Moon, another fine film. It's one of those I try to get my kids to watch. Yeah, there's so many great movies. Have you seen this? No, I haven't seen. Have you seen? Oh, no, I haven't seen. Well, you want to sit down? No, I don't. Can we just watch Iron Man again? No. But Paper Moon, not only was it a great film, the soundtrack had all these 1930s because it was dealing with gangsters and such, that time period. So it's got Paul Whiteman Orchestra. It's only a Paper Moon, right? And about 8:45, Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Dick Powell, Bing Crosby, Victor Young and orchestra, and the Boswell sisters. So, Hoagie Carmichael and orchestra doing Georgia on My Mind. Sometimes people just know maybe Ray Charles's version or but Hoagie Carmichael was the guy that wrote this thing. How did he do it? It's nice to hear the original version of a tune. Some tunes they keep coming up, right? That's why they call it the Great American Songbook. They just seem to keep coming up. So Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr and the Magic Christian. This is another fine music. The main one on this one, of course, is "Come and Get It. If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, because it may not last." That was the tune that I basically bought this record for. It's a fun movie if you ever go back and check it out. It's, of that time period. Roman Polanski looks like he was either in it. I don't know if he directed it. I'm looking for executive producer, directed by Joseph McGrath. Okay. But Raquel Welch was in it. Yeah, the Magic Christian. Usually this record's priced up a little bit, and it's partially Badfinger, right? I mean, those records used to just go for nuts. I mean, until they were all released on CD. But it was always those records were harder to find, and I don't know how hard they are to find now. I know they've come down in price, but they used to be crazy. Okay, well, that's all I got for today. So Andy the Champ out for now. Catch you next time.